The question is, why is he doing this? Is it because he feels like the best way for the Lakers to win is for him to anoint Anthony Davis? And I will say this during the same conversation in the media, he did say, I did the same thing with Kyrie Irving. So he said he took a backseat to Kyrie. I don't know exactly if that was true or not true. I mean, you were there, you would have a better idea. Did he try to bring Kyrie up, put Kyrie on a pedestal, make him like an MVP candidate? And then what does it look like when LeBron takes a back seat?
Well, he did. He tried it with Kyrie, but it didn't work. I mean, comparing Kyrie and Anthony Davis is apples and oranges to me. We're talking about Anthony Davis, who, if he keeps it going and get a couple championships under his belt and get some more individual accolades, we talking about ranking him as top five greatest power forwards to ever play the game. And so LeBron is not crazy. He's not doing it to be a scapegoat. He's actually setting Anthony Davis up for greatness. And you have to applaud him for that. Kyrie, he tried it with Kyrie, but Kyrie wasn't ready. And it's no knock on Kyrie, but Kyrie always, in my opinion, he's not a Batman of a team. He's a Robin. And LeBron he tried it. Kyrie really didn't step up to the plate, so LeBron took the role back from him. And I think he's giving AD a fair chance. Hey, look, we want you here in the Lakers. We want you to feel comfortable. I want you to know that this is your team. And I think that's a great approach because now it makes Anthony Davis lock in. It puts pressure on Anthony Davis in a good way so that he could focus and lock in and go out there and be great. And it's setting him up for success.
I think the interesting part, Perk, is that I think a lot of people look at Anthony Davis. He's a free agent at the end of the season, and he hasn't committed. Right. He said he's going to kind of keep his options open. And some people are saying, oh, this is LeBron trying to sort of, give him, throw him a bone kind of thing. And I think for the regular season, I agree. I think LeBron's probably going to take a backseat. I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Davis was in the MVP conversation as long as everything goes well and he stays healthy. I think it's a different story come playoff time. Like, is LeBron going to is that once playoff time comes around, is LeBron going to say, all right, step aside, AD, like this is my show. I'm going to run it. I know how to do this. I've been here before. And I think the other criticism of LeBron is that some people look at this and say, he just doesn't really care as much about basketball anymore. He's more into making Space Jam. He's more into the shop on HBO. He's got a bunch of different restaurants that he's opening. What do you say to that? I mean, do you think LeBron is still all in? Basketball is his number one priority, and he cares about winning a championship first and foremost?
Absolutely. I think, the guy built a court in the studio when he was filming Space Jam so he could work out. He had a weight room and a basketball court that he put it on the same in the same area when he was filming Space Jam. Listen, last year he still averaged 27, 8, and 8. He knew the season was done when he came back from injury. It was far-fetched. They couldn't make the playoffs, and obviously he wasn't locked in. I talked to Rajon Rondo yesterday, and I asked him. I said, "Hey man, what's the chemistry? What's the vibe like right now?" And he told me, "Man, Braun's so focused, man. It's crazy." And I text Braun. Me and Braun actually, I text with him when I tweeted out my top 10 players, and I had Giannis at number 1 because I had to show respect because he won MVP last year and his team had the best record in the league. They were the better offense. They had the best offensive. They were better offensively. They had the best offense, best defense in the league last year. So I texted LeBron and said, that's the only reason I had to rank you number 2. And you know what he told me? He said, in due time, I will reclaim my throne.
So LeBron is all in. Yeah, so I'm hearing this, but Perk, we've been a part of the journey. We've seen what Garnett pushed his body through, for us to win. We saw how he can barely walk when he gets on the plane, and then he goes out there and has 30 and 18. But how can you have, 4 restaurants, 2 shows, a movie, and all that other stuff, and still be all in on winning a championship? Doesn't something have to take a back seat?
Well, listen. I mean, we acting like this is new though. Scal, he's been doing this. He's been on commercials. He's been doing movies. This is not his first movie. This is not his first TV show and doing all these shows and different things outside of basketball. He was doing this when he was in Cleveland. He was doing this when he was in Miami. LeBron, he knows how to be a true professional. If he has, it's a reason he wakes up at 5 in the morning. You know why? He goes to work out he makes his workout at 5:30 in the morning. That's his first workout because he want to make sure he get his work in before all the other things have to come in place. And I know LeBron James, everything else comes secondary to him. If that was the case, he could just walk away from the game and just focus on, his life after basketball, right?